Hi, this is Jeff Coronado on behalf of JCSC, and this is a session in Bridging the Gap. So for those of you who are not familiar with Bridging the Gap, um, I'm not going to go over this. What I would do is invite you to go to the introduction of our YouTube channel at JCSC LLC, and that's right here. Go to our YouTube channel introduction, and that'll give you a pretty good idea of what we're about, what we expect to do in these sessions. So with that, let's skip on to what we are actually trying to cover here, which is, let's see, our title is down here. It's a chimney anchorage at a roof. And what we're going to cover in this particular session, the first session, is the section assembly. So ultimately, what we're going to be covering is how do we connect a chimney to the roof so that the two assemblies do not separate. But that'll be covered in multiple sessions. So this session, what we're covering in particular is the assembly itself. Okay, so here we have a section. This is what we would call a section cut. We're illustrating the roof framing. That's this portion, that's the assembly of the roof. And then there is the chimney, which is this assembly here. And so what we're trying to do is to keep the two from separating, from pulling apart from each other when subjected to lateral forces, such as an earthquake. So this is covered a little bit better in another one of the Bridging the Gap sessions, probably also in the URM. What was this? Let me go back here and clear the screen. These are URMCHIMNEY2. So probably in the URM, any of the URM chimney sessions in Bridging the Gap are going to be related to some extent. So I think in one of those, we cover that a little bit better, why these structures might separate, why these assemblies might separate. But here we just want to start covering the elements, the components that are going to be involved. So we've got the brick chimney, and that we've already mentioned here. So the brick chimney we're highlighting in red. In yellow, we're going to highlight the 2x, what we're referring to as the 2x roof rafters. Again, this is a section cut. So we've got, these are our 2x rafters. This might be even a little bit bigger. That might be a 3x or 4x, but those are our roof rafters. The WSP, or wood structural panel roof sheathing, let's use light green, and this is the element that we're referring to there. So in essence, what we used to refer to as plywood, but now in order to cover plywood, oriented strand board, we're referring to it as WSP, which is wood structural panel. So there's our WSP. 2x blocks, okay, 2x blocks. Let me see how I want to do this. Let me use blue, and I'll use an arrow. So the 2x block is, sorry, the 2x block is this element here and this element here. And let me, for right now, I'm going to use a line. Actually, let me use a rectangle. So there is one block, and here is another block. So these are the pieces of lumber, 2xs, that are cut and fit snugly between the rafters. So when we do that, we call those blocks. So those are 2x blocks, and those will serve a purpose in this connection. Now we also have rebar. Let me use this violet here and point to it. Now it's hard to see, but it's basically this black line that I'm pointing to there with the magenta line. So I'll see if I can put a line. So right there is where the rebar is going. And that's going to be very instrumental in making this connection that keeps the roof from pulling away from the chimney. So we've got a rebar there. We also have steel plate and straps. I'm going to erase the line that I used to show that rebar because it's covering up our steel plate or steel straps. In orange, the steel plate is going down here, okay? So that's where we're using a steel plate, steel strap. So let me go back to the magenta, because there the rebar then kind of goes over that steel plate. Or depends, I guess, on how you look at it, but the steel plate is connected directly to the blocks. The rebar is connected to the steel plate. Then we have lag bolts, okay? So lag bolts are gonna be, I'm gonna use this, this live green here, and show you. So those three elements there, those are the lag bolts. These three elements here, those are lag bolts. By lag bolts, what do we mean by a lag bolt? Well, basically, it's a big screw. Just think of it as a big screw. And by big, I'm talking about probably anything in excess of 3/8 of an inch in diameter, is what we would start, where we start breaking off between using the term screw and when we use the term lag bolt. But a lag bolt is just a screw. All right, and we have nails in this connection. So those are going to be, let me use what, let's see if I can use brown. And you can see the nail heads here at the top. So that's to connect the WSP down into the blocks. Okay, so those are the different elements that we're going to be evaluating in this connection to be able to tie the two together, a chimney and a roof framing. Clear the screen, move down here. Yeah, so with that, basically, we conclude the section assembly for this chimney anchorage at roof. What we're, how do we connect the chimney to, right, so what we're ultimately going to be answering is how to make this connection. And in other sessions related in this family of Bridging the Gap sessions of URMCHIMNEY2, we'll get into the different elements, the different connections, determining forces, determining capacities. But in this session, what we wanted to cover, what are the elements that will be composing the connection, and we've now covered that. Okay, so appreciate a thumbs up if this starts to give you an idea of how these connections are made. Also, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, our JCSE channel on YouTube. It's the JCLLC channel. Hover over the JCSE logo on the lower right-hand corner. You can click on subscribe, and then you can set it so that you receive notifications of when we upload new Bridging the Gap sessions. Again, for other sessions related to this topic, just search the channel for URMCHIMNEY2, or for that matter, just search the channel for URMCHIMNEY. And likely any of those other Bridging the Gap sessions entitled URMCHIMNEY or URMCHIMNEY2 will certainly be related to this topic. Okay, well, good, guys.